Hey guys, welcome to the channel and very warm wishes from my side. Best of luck for tomorrow's exam. Go out and do the best. And on a practical note, I wanted to talk to you guys about maybe three big things that come to mind. What are the three top things that come to my mind when I talk about or when I want to give you advice about what you should be doing, how you should be focusing on tomorrow's exam. So first thing first. See, you have trained your instinct. You trained yourself to do well in the exam. There is a process through which you get your right answers, whether it's verbal or quants or data interpretation or logical reasoning. So you have actually practiced that process in all your practice sessions, and it's very imperative for you. And this is the first point. Very imperative for you to make sure that tomorrow on the D-Day, your focus should be on making sure that you allow your training to take over in the exam. When I say that, what is the impedance to doing that? The impedance is if you start getting too emotional in the exam. You want to avoid emotions in the exam, because the more emotional you get in your exam, the less your training will take over. So my first big point for you is that you should allow your training to take over in the exam tomorrow. Do not allow emotions to be the dominant factor. Allow your instincts, which have been built out of the training and out of the practice that you've done, to take over in the exam. That's the first point. The second point is, again, to help you do this, one of the problems or one of the key factors or one of the key issues that one faces is if you start getting too serious about your results during the solving of the exam. So if I'm solving the exam and I'm thinking that मेरे को 40 तो लाना है वर्बल में, मेरे को आई एम सॉल्विंग अ DI सेट, आई एम ट्राइंग टू थिंक मेरे को 30 तो किसी भी हालत में लाना है डेटा इंटरप्रिटेशन लॉजिकल रीजनिंग में. द मोमेंट आई स्टार्ट डूइंग दैट काइंड ऑफ थिंकिंग when I'm too rather than focusing on what's in front of me, on doing the next step in my question, and on doing the next step or the next process, next part of the process. Rather than doing that, if my focus shifts onto okay, what is my target and what I want to get and why I should be getting these marks or to get into an IIM Ahmedabad or Bangalore or Calcutta or for my dream college, etc. If you start thinking that too much in the exam, it'll impede your doing well in the exam. So what will happen is your presence of mind will not be there in the question you're solving, and you're fighting unnecessary pressure on yourself. So the second point, which is again, broadly it'll all boil down to coming back to allowing your instincts to take over, allowing your training to take over in the exam. And the second point which supports that point is that inside the test, while you should have an objective of how much I want to score, etc., but you don't want to keep thinking that during the solving of your questions. So during the solving of the questions, your focus should be on just the next line, the next step, the next word if required, and not on the previous, on what's happened in the past, not what's happened in the future. And that's very important for you also to understand that this impedance also happens in a lot of times when what you do is, so let's say your verbal or your second section does not go according to your plans, or does not go according to what you thought it should, and the despondence of that section flows over to the next one. So make sure that you don't allow that to happen. Not just the previous section's despondence. Don't get despondent on one question and allow that to impede your solving of the next one. So that's the second point. And the third point, again, also is about removal of pressure for yourself on the exam. I know that pressure is a given on the day of the CAT. It's something you're prepared for the whole year, and a lot depends on it. But please remember one thing: what you do tomorrow might define you for the next 6 months, next 1 year, next 2 years, but it's not something that's going to define who you're going to become in 2050, right? So let's say you have a bad CAT exam, you perform the worst possible that you could have thought of. Does it mean that you have a target, or you have got a challenge, or you have a objective or an ambition to become somebody in 2040, 2050? So does a bad CAT exam mean that you will not get there? Right? It will not, right? So just remember that. Take the pressure in the perspective that it might hurt you if you don't do well tomorrow. It might hurt you in the 6-month framework, it might hurt you in the 1-year framework, but it's not something that's going to define your life. And it's not something that will always stop you from where you want to be. It's not nothing that's going to, tomorrow's outcomes and tomorrow's performance is not something that's going to impede you for the next 20 years. Of course, if you get a great performance tomorrow, it gives you a much easier way to, or a much easier path to making it big. But in case you don't do well, always remember this. Always remember this. There's always a way back, and you will not give up on your dreams of 10 years from now and 15 years from now just because of tomorrow's performance. And the moment you realize that, and you realize that that's the truth, what will happen is that you'll get your best chance, ironically, to do well in the exam. So all the best to all of you, and my best wishes to all of you. And we'll be live on the channel tomorrow evening. I'll give you my analysis of the CAT, and I hope all of you out there go out and crack it. Thank you so much. Bye bye. Do well.